Have you ever created a website for an RFP? Nope, and they don't expect to.
Well, we saw a little bit of that activity churning up 3 or 4 years ago with special sites set up for RFPs, and people expected that to take off like a brush fire, and it didn't. So some things, I guess the important thing to remember is not just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. We're trying to tell you here today what we should do.
So, in that vein, what info should you push electronically? We asked, do you like receiving the following from professional service firms electronically? We got 72 to 84% saying yes to all of these. Original research about topics important to them, industry updates, summaries of recent cases affecting their industry, invitations to seminars or events, practice area updates, legislative or regulatory alerts, white papers, state statutes and other state information, and legal research. The list continues with forms and standard agreements, federal statutes and other federal information, news releases about the firm, specific clauses or paragraphs from professionals' databases, HR information such as ADA, and that's more than 50% who would like to get all of those electronically. They're not really sure about new hire announcements, and holiday greetings are best left to printed form.
That's interesting. I mean, we're guilty here too. We have been promoting e-holiday cards for the longest time, and this year the wave really came in. We probably got more than 50 in our inbox across everyone's across the studio, and basically it was snowflakes falling with a little bit of music behind them, and after a while I was desperate to receive something in my mailbox that I could touch and feel touched by the individual who sent it. So I suspect we'll see a backlash against e-holiday cards in the coming years. I'm not a person that automatically believes that people are using this because they want to be green. I think they want to save money. But in any case, we found from our own conversations with others that they're beginning to, and certainly this proves it too, that they're not so happy about getting that holiday greeting through as an email.
We asked how they've received that information, and electronic information typically comes via email, but it's interesting that half of these buyers have gone to websites to get that information. Is there any information they want in print? Pretty much no. 20% said yes, 20% not sure. But now a word from the printing industry.
Well, print's never going to go away. These are some verbatims from our respondents about print material, and they say printed material is almost always read. Electronic is hit or miss. That's important. Personal invitations that demand immediate attention must be sent through the mails. Holiday greetings should be more personal. Of course, we just spoke about that, but that was a broad-based feeling. Lengthy articles or white papers are more likely to be read when time allows. So if you send a lengthy article via email, someone's going to print it, send it to print. If you can send it through the mails, that more's the better.
And just because you should tend your garden, we asked, how often do your lawyers ask for feedback on their work and service? And just 1/10 of those who engage lawyers say that they are often asked for feedback. That's amazing. 1 out of 10. The other 9 don't get to voice their opinions. So we asked, how much do you value being asked for your feedback on professionals' work and service? And pretty much everybody values the asking. Half said they highly value it. And on that, I'll give you a couple of quotes from actual client interviews from last year. The first from an executive vice president and general counsel at a $2.4 billion corporation in December, said they are the only outside firm that does this client interview, and that's very valuable to me. Quite honestly, with the cost pressures I face internally, it's easier to talk about that with you than with them directly. And a general counsel from a $2 billion corporation in June said the fact that they are even bothering to conduct this interview with me makes me think much more highly of them and makes me think they truly value this relationship, which bodes well for the future.
So just a few takeaways here. Your clients and prospects are online, and they're looking for you online. I hope it's no longer a question in anyone's mind that your buyers are there. Your website is quite likely to be the first tangible impression a prospect has of the firm, and therefore there is no more important impression that you can make, and therefore also follow some of the rules that we've laid out in blueprints for what pages should look like. A website is not a web presence. It used to be that we could put up our website, check the box, and say that we were done, and that's not true anymore. We simply need to be more broadly appearing across the web in a variety of formats. It's a continuum of continuous activity today. And then finally, just to remind everybody that print is not dead, and it's unlikely to die. It keeps plugging along. There are things that we simply like to receive in print. So that's it for us. We've rushed a little bit to make it under the wire for our 3 o'clock. I want to remind you that next week we've got our presentation on designing the interactive experience, how to create an effective SEO-friendly website. And then the week following that, pioneering the digital relationship. And this is really about going into a web presence itself, how SEO and search engine management and social media will play a role in your firm's